y'all, welcome to the Blessed Southern Nest. My name's Missy. We're just going to do a little bit of cleaning and some decorating today. This is a little bit longer of a video and I hope y'all don't mind this. But the first thing I do every single morning is I go out on my deck, I take me a sweet tea or a coffee, and I read my Bible. I have this She Reads Truth Bible, which I love because it's got devotions in it, which I read one every morning. And right now I am reading in Leviticus. And this is just something that I love to do to start my day, just to have God right in the center of everything that I do. After we've got our Bible reading done, I'm just going to go into my master bedroom and get started on this. This is a Monday clean for me. Which most of the stuff I'm doing today, except for the decorating, gets done every day, like making your bed, just straightening everything up, all of that. But on this Monday, we had company from out of state for the weekend. My brother and his fiance had come in, and it was the first time in about 28 years that my brother has been at my home. So we were so excited, and we just had an amazing weekend. We live in Jamestown, Kentucky, and they live in Indiana. So we took them to a couple little sites around here. Jamestown is not very big. There aren't a lot of things to do, but it was perfect for them because they just loved coming in and just getting away from the city and relaxing and not have all of the hustle and bustle. So we just spent the whole entire weekend with them. And so my house was not a disaster, but there were just things that needed picked up. Like right here, I'm just picking up after getting myself ready this morning. And this is just my master bathroom. For those of you who are not new here and you've been with me for a while, you know that we live in a mobile home and that we are doing renovations on the mobile home. So there are going to be a lot of things in here that you're going to see that are not done or that need to be done. And believe me, I know all about them. We're just slowly taking our time. And y'all, it has been quite a while since I've posted a video. And as I clean, I'm just going to tell you why. My homemaking routines have changed. I do a very condensed version of the Fly Lady system, just going through and, doing certain things every single morning and doing certain things every night before I go to bed. But honestly, I've been praying about this, and I've been married for 30 years and I've not been a great homemaker. I am the first to admit that and will always admit that. I am not the best of homemakers, or I haven't been. But I've really been praying and seeking God in a lot of things as far as my homemaking goes. And I want to make sure that I'm not just cleaning my house. I want to be honoring not only my husband with our house, because I stay at home, I don't work outside the home, but I also want to honor the Lord in everything that I do and when it comes to my home. Here's just the bedroom and master bath after it's finished. There's still a little bit of clutter, but that's okay. I'm working on it. But as I said, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm honoring my husband and I'm honoring God in my home and everything that I do. And as I was praying and looking into these things, God brought some things to my attention that if we are not faithful in little things, how can we expect, or how can God expect us to be faithful in big things? So again, my home needs a lot of renovations. There are a lot of things that need done here. But I want to make sure, even with the things that need to be done, that I have honor in my home and that I take care of my home. I hope that makes some sense. So those are just the things that God's been laying on my heart lately. So I've kind of changed things up a little bit. And I'm just making sure that when my husband comes home, he has a nice home to come home to. And that may be, some people may look at that like, well, that's not necessarily the wife's job, but here it is my job because that's what I do. I stay home to take care of him. When people ask me what I do for work, I say YouTube, and I also say I take care of my husband. So for those of you who have seen some of the other videos, I think you saw, I don't even know if I showed this in the last video, but we have taken our kitchen table outside and we went and got this little, it's a workbench, but it's perfect for my kitchen. And we're using that as kind of our table right now. If we use a table, since it's just the two of us, we barely sit at the table to eat. But I had that underneath my window and I decided to change that. And now I'm just kind of decorating up where I moved my little pantry here. Again, this is the only wall that we still have finished. We are not done renovating. We have a lot to do, but we're getting there. Slowly and surely, we're getting there. So now I am just going to clean off this little workbench and we're just going to decorate it up. I will tell you all that everything that you see that I'm going to put out on this workbench, I have made myself. I am also a DIYer here on YouTube. I do have a DIY channel and I will list that in the description box below just in case. I mean, no pressure. If y'all want to go through, if you kind of like my decorations, 90% of my decorations are made by me. So you can just go over to my DIY page and check those out and see what you think. If you do go over there, let me know that you found my DIY channel from this channel. So I am really into the farmhouse decor. And in my kitchen, I am loving, sorry, I have my tongue out there. I do that a lot when I'm in the moment and I'm just trying to get everything done. I'm in love with farm animals right now, so a lot of my decorations in my kitchen are farm animals, and you'll see in the final reveal exactly how this looks. But everything on that table except the last thing that I put down has been made by me. So if you like those things, again, just go check out. It's called Crafty Cove. Just go check me out over there. Now I am doing my kitchen windows. Y'all, these needed this so bad. And our door is brand new, another renovation, so you can see that insulation on the side there. We actually bought a house door instead of a mobile home door because they are better quality. And we had to do some cutting and reframing, so that will get fixed. But some of the stickers were still on my door from where we put them on, so I just took a razor blade and scraped those off. And we're going to clean the inside and the outside of my door. Again, these needed these terribly. And the night before this clean, we had a severe storm. We're almost positive we had a tornado here, and there was debris all over everywhere. You'll see me later. I go out into my backyard and into my driveway and try to get some of that debris up. We had a big branch of my dogwood tree in my front yard come down, and our neighbor had a huge tree come down, and it is still across the road. So I'm hoping they'll get that fixed up real soon. But after I get those windows done, I'm just going to come in. My husband is not, the only thing my husband drinks is Powerades and water. So I just needed to refill his water for him. And now we're just going to kind of go through and pick up some odds and ends. Like I said, my house wasn't a disaster because I had cleaned really well before my company came. But, you know, there's always things that need to be picked up. I try my best. I'm getting to where I try my best. Y'all, if you've seen my previous videos, you've seen some very messy photos of my home. And I was not always one to keep up with those things. But I'm trying, again, I'm trying to do better. And, you know, it's a daily thing. You just have to make yourself get up and do these things. So again, about my craft channel, all of these little things that I am putting in my tiered tray here were made by me also. That's what I say, 90% of my home decor, well, about 80% probably, of my home decor are things that I have made myself, just not only to be budget friendly, but also because of my DIY channel over or here on YouTube, because I have to make things anyway for videos. So I always try to make things that I am going to use. So now we're just wiping down our counters. I'm in love with my counters. I'm hoping and praying that this weekend these two counters right here that I'm working on will get done. Had to reset the clock because we lost power sometime around midnight Sunday night, and I'm not sure exactly what time it came on. My husband gets up at 5 and he said it was on. When we went to bed around 2, it was not on. So at some point in the evening, our power, or in the middle of the night, our power did come back on. And y'all, if you haven't used the pink stuff yet, the spray, I am loving it. I use the pink stuff paste for my stove, but the spray I use for everything. And of course, after a weekend of company, my trash can was just awful. So it needed to be wiped down. Next, I'm just going to go through. We are just going to sweep up. Sorry about the back shot there. I didn't even realize my tag was up this entire video. But anyway, and also it needed mopped terribly because of all the storms last night. We had my son and our neighbor came in because they came over we do have a cellar here, thank God above. So they came over and went into the cellar with us. So when we all came back up, our main entrance is our back door there, and everyone was tracking in mud and all that, which I didn't worry about. I just wanted to go to bed. But so I knew this morning that I was going to get up and go ahead and mop. Now, y'all have probably seen this on TikTok, this little hack for these spin mops. I went and got me a bucket, and I'm putting my clean water in the bucket and then spinning out the dirty water. Y'all, it makes such a difference. Again, I'm probably one of the last ones to know this, but it makes such a difference in how my floor looks when I'm finished, because I'm not just continuing to mop with dirty water. So if y'all didn't know that, definitely give it a try. Here's our kitchen when we are finished. I love how my decorations turned out. I just hung some things on the wall, and then also put all of that out in the middle. And now those big signs on the wall I did not make. I got those at a place called Gabe's in Virginia, and got a really good deal on them. And here's some farmhouse magnets that I made. I just kind of wanted to show y'all. I love farmhouse, and so much of what I make is going to be farmhouse decor. Now, since the last video, I don't know if y'all remember, but we used to have mirrored doors on my utility room, which I despised for the simple fact that they got so dirty. My husband has since replaced those with these beautiful doors that match my pantries and my island. We forgot to get magnets to keep those closed, so a paint can is keeping them closed right now. So now we're just going to head into the living room. Again, not a big mess, but just things that needed to be picked up, needed to sweep, all of that. And of course, when all this out right now is from the storm last night. There's a blanket on the floor that got soaked when we took the dog outside. So that needed to be washed. And then my rain jacket and my husband's sweatshirt. Here's a little peek at Bristol, our baby. She was all snuggled up in her heated blanket, but it wasn't on. So I went ahead and snuggled her back up in it and turned it on for her. I got that for Christmas from my mom, but it has become Bristol's blanket. That is where she's at all the time. There is a little door hanger that I had made, and in the storms last night, it was blown off of my door when my son came in. So I just need to go ahead and fix my hanger on that, because that is what broke on that, and it was just hot glue, so it's no big deal. So I will get that fixed and get that hung back up. And again, just getting some sweeping done, and it was horrible. It needed it after the dried mud and dirt and all of that. So here is a after of my living room. Again, y'all, I did make that lantern there and the homestead sign, things like that. Again, it wasn't terribly bad, and I'm still not to the point where I want to be with my housekeeping, but I am trying to get there, and this looks much better than it has in the past. Now, because of our company and the storm, my deck was a disaster. Most of this stuff that you see right here are things that I had decluttered out of my bedroom and my kitchen, and they just needed to be put into the garage until our trash day, which is Friday morning, and then they will go out to our trash pile so that they can be picked up. We can't leave trash out around where we live because we have so many stray cats that if you leave trash out, it is going to be shredded and there's going to be junk all over your porches. So that's why we don't leave our trash out here. I did have that little extension cord right there. We have a smoker that is electric, so I just rolled it up and stuck it because I can't unplug it. We use it all the time, and stuck it right there on my railing. Now I'm taking a rug that has seen better days. It needs to be pressure washed, but my husband loaned our pressure washer out, and we haven't got it back yet. So when we get that back, I will go ahead and pressure wash that. This is my table that used to be in my kitchen. Thank the Lord we have a covered deck, so even in the elements, it does not ruin. And so I put it out here, and this is where you saw me this morning showing you where I do my Bible reading. I love to come out here in the mornings before I do anything and sit at this table and read my Bible. And the pollen in Kentucky has been horrible, so the table and all of the chairs needed to, they just all needed to be wiped down. And just to get all of that pollen off of there so that when you sit down, you don't have pollen just all over the place from sitting down in the chair. Then I'm just going to move the smoker back, and we're going to turn to the other side of the porch. I'm just going to start, again, picking little things up that didn't need to be out here, but were out here, and we're going to sweep it down, get it all looking nice. My husband was so excited when he came home from work because this wasn't something that I was going to do on this day, but I decided just to go ahead and get it done because it was gorgeous outside. It was windy after the storms, but nothing too bad. So I wanted to go ahead and get all this cleaned up. And he was so shocked and so excited when he came home. And this is just what the deck looks like now. Again, you know, there's some stains on it, and I have a lot of lattice work that the wind has blown off that we need to fix. But I love my deck. That was one of the things when we were out on the road. For those who don't know, I traveled with my husband for his job. And that was one of the things that we just longed for, was to being able to come home and sit out on our deck. So there's that. Now I'm just going to go through the backyard. I didn't worry about the front yard because it was just a lot of leaves. But in the backyard, there were some smaller tree limbs and some pieces of tree that had come, or pieces of limbs that had blown out of the trees. And my husband, I knew, was going to mow within the next couple days. So I just wanted to get those bigger pieces up and out of the way. We have a burn pile back there. So I'm just picking all of those up and placing them in the burn pile. And then in our driveway, we got quite a few, I mean, not like huge limbs, but bigger limbs that you can see right here. And I just wanted to go through and get all of those up. And again, he was shocked and he was so happy and thanked me a million times for cleaning all this up for him. And I forgot the one, if you look right here on my car, I have a small little limb that's on my car, and I didn't even get that. I didn't even realize it until the next day when I went out to go to the grocery store and I saw that limb on there. I tried to get it off, but I couldn't. I was too short. So as I drove, it just eventually fell off of there. So again, here, you know, this was just, it was a longer video, but I just wanted to share these things with y'all. I wanted to come on and get another video out. I'm going to try to be more consistent on these videos. So I hope y'all stick around. Stick with me. We're going to get better. I promise. I appreciate y'all so much. And thank you so much for watching. God bless each and every one of you.